folks, Amy from Colorado Mountain Living. I'm out on the deck in a t-shirt, so you know what that means. Really mild weather today, and all of the snow is melting like crazy. And as you can tell, it's also really windy, and that means a weather front is coming in. And I've seen and predicted is that another foot of snow is coming to the mountains, maybe more, in a series of storms starting tomorrow. So Sunday, we're supposed to get up to 10 inches and then a few inches more during the week and another few inches later in the week. So we could get another real big dumping of snow, but that's the way March goes up in the mountains in Colorado. You can see up on the deck here, Brian's snowblower is still here, and we're dry as a bone on the deck. Not even a titch of moisture anywhere. That sun is so strong that it just really takes care of any amount of snow as long as you don't have 2 feet, right? So today I wanted to give you just a few updates now that we're at the end of winter, just how some of the things have turned out. I've got an update on the hydroponics, some piano skills update, and Brian's bike update, and Brian's training update. So let's run through some of those, and I'll share with you guys how our winter ended up for us. And of course, we got to highlight some of our projects from the winter time. So our very first project, well, I guess you could say it was a 2021 project, was the mug rack that we installed. So I kind of had the concept for it and designed it, and then Brian installed it here. So it's just a nice little accent to have readily access to your mugs, because we have such a long winter. It's just nice to have mugs ready to go whenever you want them. So one end of winter update I wanted to show you guys was the grow light situation and what's going on with the hydroponic. I temporarily turned off the grow light just so we could have good visuals on the video. But let me show you up close what things are looking like. I know it looks like a big green forest, but on the second video, I tried using some of the grocery store hydroponic basil, and I split it up into a bunch of different pots, and then I plopped it into the hydroponic situation, and it just took off. I mean, it's almost touching the light. I actually trimmed off all of these plants right here last night so we could have some basil in our spaghetti. So these are almost 30% shorter than they were last night. The ones in the jars over here, they're up to the light. So there's been some insights on the hydroponic experiment. There's been some positives and negatives. I think that some things are great and some things aren't really worth the effort. My opinion overall on the hydroponic situation from my experience is that things like herbs that are really fast growing do great. Obviously, look at this basil. I have a basil forest. I could make, 3 batches of pesto if I wanted to. And there's one thing right here growing really tall, and that's an arugula plant that bolted. I've got flowers at the top, but it barely got anything to eat off of it. So it just is weird because it just bolted. We've got a flower at the top. It's leggy. Oops, I just broke that. And then there's like 5 leaves on the thing. So I was just expecting something a little bit more robust in terms of leaves. Here's the other arugula plant. This is one that ended up being 3 arugula plants, but it's not amazing to me. I just thought it would be more greenery. The other big thing that's come out of this is the romaine lettuce. So this plant's pretty substantial. I mean, it's about the size of my hand. And I think I'm trying to think of when I planted these, maybe the 10-week mark now, 8-week mark. So very robust root system. The greenery's looking good. It's small though. I was hoping that it would be more like head of lettuce size. Same thing over here. This one's similar in size. The one back here is similar in size. It's a little bit more leaves to it. And over here, I threw in a piece of old romaine that we used up from our own grocery store purchase. You know how you can just kind of cut off some things and they'll grow, and it's growing. So maybe with the nutrients and stuff, it's maybe a little bit of a shortcut. So cuttings and pre-planted things are doing well, but some things are not, and that I would say is the kale. I mean, we're talking 8 weeks here, and all I got is this. And look at this one in the pot. It didn't grow. So some things didn't do well. I think some of the root systems kind of got dried out and strangled. I mean, there's just like a strand. There's not much to there. There's not much to it at all on that root system. This root system's looking okay, but if you look into the pot, there's not a lot in there. Like, it's more complex down here. And I think they're drying out up here. I don't know what's going on, but it's just, they didn't take off as much as I wanted to. That's pretty much the update on the hydroponics. I don't know that it's worth all of the effort to grow tons of heads of lettuce, because it's been 2.5 months, and there's really nothing we can really eat yet, maybe except for the basil. So I think for herbs, it would be a great thing. I think it might be a speedy way to grow herbs inside. But as far as like greens and other things, just from my experience, this doesn't seem to be worth all of the trouble. There's not a lot of food to eat for the effort that I'm putting into this. So I guess that's the bottom line. Anyway, that's the update on the hydroponics. If you caught the last video, you know that Brian's been working on his bike. He got the paint job done. Now he's starting to assemble the pieces. So he's got his aero bars here, the crankset here, and he's just slowly adding all the components. Now, he's left the house early this morning to do his training down in Boulder because the weather is really, really nice today, and he's taking advantage of being able to bike outside versus inside and be able to do the swimming down there at the gym facility and running outside. So those are, that's Brian's life on a Saturday now. He spends the whole day training, so it's a lot of hours away from home. And you can see some footage here from some of his training that he's done. Last weekend, unfortunately, he had to do all his training inside. He spent 4 hours on a bike inside because of all the snowstorm. So he's taking advantage of today's nice weather to get out there and do it. And after a full winter of practicing piano, I've gotten a lot better since when I first got the piano over Christmas time. I've been practicing a very complex piece of fur lace, the real version, and it's been a big test, but I'll give you a little sample of how it's been going, and hope to perfect it. Maybe I'll do a little recital one of these days. Still working on it. We'll see. We'll get the final version on YouTube. Well, let's go take a closer look outside and see how things are melting. And then outside here, you can see the radon fan. This was a big installation project Brian did in January as well. So that one definitely had to get done and has been holding up pretty well for us. You know, one person that's always out here, a dog. He's always out in the snow, lying on the snow. Even when there's no snow, he's lying in the snow. We have prolific melting right now. The steps are popping through. We've got a lot coming off the roof. In fact, the wind is kind of making it land on me. But a lot of moisture here. Oh, there's Beagle's changing positions. And let's go see if the bees are flying out. It's funny to think about strapping on some snowshoes, but I don't really feel like getting my shoes wet. So. The bees are definitely flying. You can see how the snow's melted away from the fronts of the hives, and we've got a lot of action. Bees coming out to take a breather from their hives. I'm getting dive bombed a little bit. The bees are bumping into me. I'm probably radiating some heat as well. Very hot sun right now. We're in the 50s, so that's why I'm in a t-shirt. And snowshoes. Kind of an odd combination. T-shirt and snowshoes. Oh, here's like an odd combination right there. You are so crazy. Almost all the snow off the driveway is completely melted. So that's That's pretty consistent. Did you just drop your ball over the wall? Vigo, you're wanting to play, I can tell. Better come down here and get it. Yeah, get that ball. Yeah, look at you. Ready to play. Well guys, here I am outside again in a t-shirt and snowshoes. But honestly, it's in the 50s. It's really mild outside. It's probably chilly for almost anybody else except me because it's been solid winter. But if the sun actually feels really hot, and it just feels really nice to be outside without a jacket on and just kind of soaking up some of those sun rays. But as nice as it is right now, and as fast as all the snow is melting, we're actually expecting another foot of snow to hit us next week, starting on Sunday. So it's kind of like the par for the course for March. I mean, this is what March is. March is heavy snowfalls, lots of melting, followed by more heavy snowfalls, and we're in the thick of it right now. You know, we had over 2 feet last week, and now we're going to get another foot this coming week. But the good news is that it's all going into the ground, and it's just really soaking into the mountain right now, and we really need that for growing and for the spring to be just really very very vibrant. But with such a strong sun right now, it's really speeding up the packing of the snow. And right now, if you step in it, you might sink up to 12 inches. So that's why I've got the snowshoes on. And the wind is kind of kicking up, and that's kind of telling us also that a big weather front is coming in. So tomorrow, the snow is supposed to start, and it's going to be cold enough to snow. So it's not going to be t-shirt weather anymore. And so I'm just enjoying being outside for the moment, just trying to, enjoy those sunshine rays as much as possible. So that's kind of the update. This is the last day of winter technically on the calendar. It's the equinox. It's, we're definitely crossing the threshold to spring, even though more snow is on the way. For us, spring snow is normal. It's not, it's definitely welcomed, and we love to see that moisture coming in. But from now on, it's just every time it snows, we expect another cycle of mud to come behind the snow. So muddy roads, muddy driveway, muddy car. It's just par for the course for us up here. Mud season officially for the next month until things start to dry out, I think in May. I think you can hear on the microphone, you can kind of hear the winds are kicking up, and that means the cold air is behind it. But I know for some people, the thoughts of spring really kind of kick them into high gear, getting motivated about what they're going to do for the coming year and the things they want to accomplish and the energy they want to have. And I wanted to pass this on to my YouTube audience that I've put together a group. It's a motivational training to kind of get back into gear, get back on track with your habits, your health habits, whether it's healthy eating or more exercise. If that's something that you want to know a little bit more about, leave a comment below and I can tell you more about it. But I just kind of wanted to throw it out there. I'm going to be starting this training next week. It's a 5-day training on amplifying your motivation. A 5-day, get back on track with motivation, healthy eating, exercise. Come on, we're going to do it this year, and we're going to make it happen. And that's why I'm offering that as a freebie for folks that are in my circle, so to say. So if it's something you're curious about, or it sounds like something you might need right now, let me know, and I'll give you a link to that. But I think I'm going to head back inside because the wind is kicking up a little bit. It's making it hard to stay in a t-shirt outside. I think I'm starting to get the goosebumps. So just giving you guys a little preview of what it's like this weekend, because I think we're getting more snow, and we'll keep you posted on that. All right, that's our winter update. End of winter. Spring on spring. We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.